All right, all right. Man, I can never get this right. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome to your horoscope. Oh my God, I cannot talk. This is already a good start. Horoscope reading for 2024 December. Now, whatever. I tried to do this about 2 weeks ago, and halfway through the reading, literally the sound stopped. So I decided to cancel it. I deleted it, and now let's try again. Hopefully, this time the reading will go all the way through. Cool. Okay, sorry, I'm just checking for something. All right, so let's begin for Aries. Aries. Oh, there's no time. Oh, yes, there is. Okay, good. Aries. Okay. How you doing? Welcome, Aries. All right, let's see what's in store for you for the month of December. Oh my God, you guys, this is already not a good start, but it's okay. I'm a bit all over the place today, but that's okay. Sometimes things happen, and what happened today was I accidentally, well, I don't know if it was like the bird ran into my car, really. Yeah, a bird just went into my car. Not into the car, but on the front of the car as I was driving, and it made me very sad. But that's sometimes how the universe communicates with you, and it gave me a big wake-up call. These things don't happen for no reason. These things happen because they want you to pay attention, and sometimes we're not paying attention, even though we think we are. And I feel like it was something that wanted to really shake me up and get my attention. Now, I am noticing that that is a little bit foggy, so just give me 1 second. Actually, you know what? I can just use this. I'm sure this. Oh, come on, guys. Disaster! I dropped all my cards. So, like I said, sometimes, I'm sure you can hear me, things just don't go the way you want them to go. Sometimes things are just tough, and that's okay. You got to step up. You just got to push through, and you just got to keep going. Okay. So that's message for me today, for me. But let's see what's here for you, Aries, for 2024 December. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I just want to get a few more cards just to get everything clear. And I hope you're doing well. I hope your day is better than mine. And, you know, life is like that. Things happen. Things go wrong. Life, if you expect life to always be hunky-dory and great, no matter the work that you do, then I feel like you're going to get disappointed, you know? Okay. Okay, Aries. So 3 cards came up for you. It's hope, journey, and inner child. So hope, what I'm getting is, so I feel like this year has been obviously a lot of ups and downs, but I think you really have hope for the year to come, for 2025. And I think you're kind of like looking in the horizon, having a bit more of an optimistic attitude about the following year, hopefully. And just, I don't know, I feel like there's just something that you see or you feel, or there's this sense that things are going to be better this year for you. It's kind of like seeing that rainbow, right? Seeing the gold at the end of the rainbow, seeing that, you know, there's a dove flying over it. So there's just sense of peace kind of behind it, which is great. You know, I really hope that for you for the next year. And of course, remember, this is a general reading. So of course, it may not apply to everybody, but if this is something that you are feeling in your gut, even though things don't have to be great right now, but there's something in your gut that's saying, I know that next year is going to be a better year for me. There's something there. There's something waiting for me. There's something special about this year. So essentially, this is what I'm feeling for you, and you're kind of feeling it. So hold on to that feeling. Keep putting your energy into your vision, okay, not your fears. Put your energy into your vision, not your fears. Put your energy into the things that you know are feeding you and that are making you feel better. And I see a journey. Okay, so journey has come up. So this means that, of course, like any journey, you're going to have your ups and downs. It's not always going to be smooth. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be hunky-dory and everything just follows through. Also, life just does not work that way. But you're ready for this journey. You want to take this journey. You're kind of like in a place right now where you're like, I am ready to take on whatever is happening, because what's going on now, for some of you, maybe it wasn't terrible, but at the same time, it was just like, I think I'm hearing meh, meh in my head. And you don't want meh. You want great. You want experience. You want excitement. You want adventure. You want something just bigger than meh. An inner child came up. So for some of you who have been wanting children, that's the first thing that came to my mind, is that I see some of you actually getting pregnant, actually starting a family, which is awesome. And for some of you, I feel like it's also like a lot of inner child healing. This is like healing your inner child, this journey that you're taking on, this shift that you're making, this decision that you have made to take on this new chapter, this new energy, this kind of like I said, this journey or whatever. Essentially, it's also not just healing. It's essentially healing for your inner child. Let's get a few more cards, and I'm going to make them very quick today, the readings, guys, because I am very tired, but I promised myself that I would do this today. Again, I'm seeing a lot of doves, you guys. So another thing that I'm also hearing for you is signs. So really pay attention to the signs and your intuition. You're going to get a lot of downloads. You're going to get a lot of guidance from your spiritual team and from your angels. And it's really important just to listen to those messages and not ignore them. Like I said today, when the bird hit my car, right? It's not a random situation. I ended up like taking my Tesla to be charged. I stayed a little bit longer than I normally would stay. And it just so happened that right in that second, right in that moment, that bird flew by and my car hit it. Now, for me, these things, people can look at it as like a random coincidence, but I don't believe in random coincidences. I believe that things happen for a reason. There's a message there. And so really just listen, pay attention, keep asking questions. You may not have the direct answer, but over time the answer will come, or at least it's shaking you up to really pay attention, right? So it's the same thing with you guys. So pay attention to the synchronicity, to the messages, to the signs that you're getting, because they're leading you somewhere. They're trying to help you. They're trying to guide you. But if you ignore them, eventually these things, like, you wonder why things aren't working out, but you're not listening to that divine guidance either. So it's very important that you stay in tune with that. And then the other thing that I'm hearing is clear out the clutter and clear out your space. So one of the things that I'm actually very clearly hearing for you guys is, by the end of this year, really make a list of things that you're ready to let go of, that you've experienced this year, that are no longer in alignment with who you are, that are no longer in alignment with your path, where you want to go. And so it's time to just release these patterns, okay? And then for the new year, like I said, make that plan, have that hope. But I'm feeling a lot of like cleansing and clearing and letting go. You know, I got it. I learned this lesson. I don't want this lesson anymore. I don't want to repeat the past. I don't want to bring the past into the future, right? So essentially, that's what's coming up for you guys, Aries. So, all right, that was your reading for December. Leave a comment below if that made any sense. I'm sure it did. But yeah, thank you so much, Aries, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, Taurus. I'm writing down the timestamps now because I don't have to do it later and go through everything. So, Taurus, hi, how are you? How's it going? What's been happening? Let's see what's coming up for you for December 2024. This is also obviously going to leak into January and for the year to come. So it's kind of like the end of the year reading, December, plus what to expect for the new year. So let's see what comes up. Man, the fairies are like on point today. So I'm just going to change pen, because that pen sucks. All right. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going well. These are much quicker readings. They're to the point today, but nonetheless, they're still very powerful. Okay. Sometimes we can go on and on and on and on. And sometimes it's just that one thing that you need to hear that can change everything. And so today, that's the aim of today's reading. Okay, Taurus. So we got moon energy, hope, and inspiration. So when I hear the moon energy, essentially what I'm hearing is that you guys have been kind of going against the current. You've been going against the natural flow of things. You've kind of had a lot of resistance, a lot of my way or the highway kind of attitude because you're very stubborn, right? And that's not a bad thing necessarily, but it can go against you if it's not used the right way. So essentially what I'm hearing is that this year for 2025, you really want to start learning the ebbs and flows of life, right? There's the winter time where we rest and we sit back. And then there's the time of spring and there's the time of summer where we start taking action and that we're at our peak. So when things aren't working out, when we push through, essentially we're burning more fuel than we actually have. And we don't want to do that around that time. So this is something that essentially that I'm hearing that's going to help you manage your energy, help you manage your stress levels, and essentially really succeed. Because when you feel those ebb and flows and you're in synchronistic, when you're synchronizing with it, essentially things just flow a little bit easier. And it doesn't mean it's always easy. Like bad things do happen, obstacles do arrive, but you're not fighting the obstacle and you're not pushing through with already weight on your back. It's kind of like you sit back and you observe and then you take action when it feels right, when you have the energy, when you've gotten clarity, as opposed to pushing through and everything's just foggy and messy. Hope. For you, it's funny, I got this card for Aries, but for you, it has a different energy. You need to focus more on hope. You need to focus more on the positive things in your life. You have spent a lot of time really amplifying the negative. I think it's a bit of pessimism there and a little bit of being let down. Maybe you had a tougher year this year. So what essentially I'm hearing is that like you really, really want to be aware of where you're feeding your energy and where you're placing your energy for 2025. So make sure that you place your energy into things that excite you, that make you feel alive, that make you feel valued even. I'm hearing like the word valued, so it's like maybe you didn't feel valued this year. Maybe you felt like people took advantage of you or didn't acknowledge the work that you did or didn't see you. So this year, you really want to put the energy towards things that are giving back to you and not just taking. And inspiration. So I feel like with this card, it's more about self-expression than inspiration, right? So it's like learning to play again, learning to have that joy, bringing back that lightness into your energy field, into your body, into your system, inviting in that high frequency so that it helps you through the day, right? Because obviously when you have that heavy, dark, negative energy, everything is 10 times harder. Nothing is easy. But when we're okay, now I can see the sounds working. I'm learning how to do lives on YouTube. I always do them in Insight Time. And like I was just saying, the last time I tried to do this, the sound cut off. So anyway, so inspiration, right? So you want to be inspired in spirit. You want to listen to your spirit. You want to follow through and you want to elevate your energy so that you can easily overcome these challenges as well, right? Because it's going to take you a lot quicker to step out of them as opposed to dwelling in them. So let's see what else comes up. Hi, Didi. I have a hamster running around right now. Nurture. Okay, so inner child nurturing came forward. So a lot of you need to be a little bit more gentle on yourself. You've been a little bit hard on yourself, and this is something that's coming on very strong for some reason. So it's time to be a little bit kinder to yourself. Be your own mother. Be your own friend. Be that support system that you needed that you never received. The more you do that, again, it's about lifting that energy, lifting that frequency, allowing yourself to flow through it as opposed to struggle through it. And, when you do something wrong, if you sit there and beat yourself up, you're just essentially bringing your energy down, and then it just makes it even harder to get out of it. So learning how to be kinder and nicer to yourself so that when these challenges do arrive, again, you get out of it much quicker. But all is well. All right. So at the end of it, all is going to work out. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be as hard as you think. But again, as long as you elevate your energy, you do the right things by you, step forward and you focus on what it is that you really want as opposed to what you don't want, everything will eventually work out. Yeah. And I'm also hearing Archangel Michael. So work with Archangel Michael a lot. He's very good at protecting and shielding. So that's another thing that I'm hearing that you might want to work with for 2025. I work with his energy today, actually. Interesting enough, I pulled him forward today. And I don't know if he helped, but he definitely left me a message. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Taurus. And hopefully best of luck. Well, hopefully. Best of luck for December, and I'm sure 2025 will be much better, but listen to what I said. It's going to help you for sure. Okay, bye-bye. All right, Gemini. How are we doing, Gemini? Welcome, welcome, welcome to your reading for December, leaking into the year of 2025. How you doing? What are you doing? What's been happening? All right, so let's see what's coming up for you guys. For December and the year 2025. I started off this reading just for December, but I'm hearing that this is going to be much more. Okay. And there's definitely a message for you guys. You already got 4 of Emperor. So I'm just going to start talking because, okay. They already want me to tell you what's going on. Okay, so to begin with, 4 of Emperor, what I'm hearing is structure. Okay, Gemini, you're going to need a lot of structure for the following year. For those of you who you're an air sign, right? So you change moods very quickly. You're not two-faced. And I don't know why people say that. It's just that you see many different perspectives. So what I'm hearing here is that a lot of you just need structure, a plan, and kind of like a schedule, right? So you know what you're doing, you're following the schedule, and you're building something up. So the 4 is the number of structure, right? Ironically, that's also my life path number. And it's the pillars, right? It's the 4 pillars that hold everything together. So you kind of need that, especially if you want to start a business or a career or something. You got to have a plan, and you got to set the plan with structure. Because I'm a Gemini, and I tend to have a lot of plans, but I kind of like fumble through it and I make it work, but it's just a little bit chaotic. So what I'm hearing is next year or December, start thinking about that structure, start implementing that structure, start organizing that structure for the following year, and commit to that structure. 3 of Ariel. Great. So again, I think that this is all related to this card. Okay. So a lot of you really are just wanting to pursue your passions, wanting to follow your dreams, and wanting to create something new, and or build on something that you've already created, but you're not quite sure where to go. So essentially, I'm hearing just remember to follow your passion. Your passion is where the energy flows, and where the energy flows, energy grows. So that's essentially where you want to bring your focus. Now, this is something that I'm telling myself, but I feel like a lot of Geminis out there are going to relate to this. Being a Gemini, we also have our hands in multiple things at the same time, right? So what I'm hearing, and this is the message that I got today big time, is essentially it's like if something's not working and you're trying too hard and it's too difficult and it's just getting too challenging, let it go. And if it's meant for you, you can come back to it. But take all of your energy and focus into the things that are working for you, that are giving you something back, that are showing you that there is something there for you. Because sometimes we get stuck with an idea, right? And we want this thing really, really badly. And we're just like, well, it's just not working out, but we still want to make it work. And it's just taking energy away from other things. And we just have to accept the fact that if it's meant for us, it will come back around. Okay, yeah. And there's some releasing that needs to be done, Gemini. Okay. So there's some releasing, some letting go, whether this is ideas or ways of thinking or patterns, like I said, or letting go of some things that you very much attached to. And this is very much something that's resonating with me right now. You know, I have my YouTube channel, I teach meditation classes, I'm an actor, I do a lot of things. I have other businesses that I want to start on the side. And I'm going to tell the story again because hopefully, I don't know if you heard the beginning of the opening, but today when I was driving, a bird came and hit my car. And that's when these things happen. These things are saying, hey, you need to pay attention. I didn't make the connection, but what I did notice today is that when I taught my meditation class, I wasn't feeling it anymore. I wasn't feeling that excitement, that passion anymore. Not that I will ever stop doing meditation classes here, but in person, I just wasn't getting back what I feel like I was giving. And this is not blaming other people, by the way. This is me completely. But I just think this is something that sometimes we're meant to experience for a time, and then we're meant to let it go because we learned what we had to learn and then let it go. And I'm a very, very, very loyal person. I have a hard time letting go of something. And this is actually a shadow of mine because for some people, that's a really good thing, right? And in some aspects it is, but the downside to that is that you hold on to things that aren't good for you and you staying loyal to things that aren't loyal to you, So What aren't you loyal? Sorry, what isn't loyal to you, Gemini? What is it that is draining your battery, that is making you question things, that it's lowering your frequency? And it's time to let that go. It's time to let that go and be brave and step into the new and bring your energy and focus into the things that activate your heart and your energy. Okay. All right, Gemini, thank you so much. Let's move on to Cancer and all the best. All right, Cancer. We are powering through this, guys, but the messages are intense and deep. Very quick messages, but I feel like they're just landing today. They're not messing about. Okay, guys. So Cancer, this is your reading for December 2024, leaking into the year of 2025. So let's see what's coming up for you, Cancer. I hope you've had a good week thus far. Hope you had a better day than me. And that's okay. Woo! Hi, hamster. I have a little hamster running around. She's adorable. We call her Didi Houdini because she's an escape artist. She knows how to break out of her cage. She's done that twice now, so quite a character. All right. Hey, you guys, Cancer. Boom. All right. Woo. All right, guys. I'm going to prepare myself for this one. Okay, Cancer. First card that came in, take your power back. So, in what ways did you give your power away this year? Now, a lot of the times we think that we give our power away to external forces, right? That can be the case a lot of the time, but sometimes we give our power away to ourselves. We give up, we give in, we don't listen, we don't hold our ground, we don't hold our power. Maybe we get very reactive, or maybe we get impulsive. And that's actually giving your power away, because somebody who's empowered thinks before they act, really plans before they move forward. It's not something that they just jump into out of like a knee-jerk reaction or an impulse. Sometimes impulse is good, okay? But we're talking about power here, being empowered, being strong, being confident. So I want you guys to think about this year in what ways you've given your power away and how you can prevent that from happening in the following year. The next thing that came up is leadership. So you need to step into a leadership role. When you step into a leadership role, it's actually quite a lonely role. A lot of people think about leaders as these like people who have a ton of followers and people, celebrate them. And that's a successful leader. That's somebody who has already, mastered leadership. Okay. But a leader, a journey to becoming a leader is incredibly difficult, incredibly hard, incredibly lonely at times. And you're going against the masses, essentially. You have everybody telling you that you're crazy and that it's a big no, and you're the only one saying, but I see the vision. And then people will follow you once you've achieved the vision. Okay. They won't follow you along the journey. Very few people have achieved that. So essentially, how can you be a leader to yourself? How can you hold on to your leadership, what you believe in, and not be afraid of the masses saying no? Again, this is going back to also holding your power, right? It's like, I believe in this. I believe in this vision. I believe in myself. I know I can do it, regardless of what everybody's saying. So also when it comes to that, be careful who you tell. Be careful who you share your information with, because people mean well, even though they might put you down or make fun of you or whatever. Really, their intention is to protect you, right? Because they're really just protecting themselves, so they don't believe in themselves. But at the end of the day, you just got to be 3 steps ahead of it. So if this is something that you really want to feel empowered by, then nurture it, take care of it, and protect it. And then spread your wings, man. It's like time to fly for you guys. So it's time for you to take that leap of faith. It's time for you to take action on this plan, this vision that you have. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it sounds awesome, whatever it is, and good for you. And their claircognizant came in. So pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as your prayers are being answered. So this essentially means that you're also getting and receiving guidance from your spiritual team, from the higher powers, from the universe, synchronicities, and all that sort of stuff. So when you're really in alignment and when you're really in your power, usually these messages come through very, very, very strongly. And the key to that is like knowing when it is an inspired download and then following through with that. So a lot of people get these downloads, but they just ignore them. They just say that they're just coincidences, or they just don't follow through, and then they regret it later. So Cancer, make sure that you listen to this and that you follow with it, because it's there for a reason. It's going to guide you through this year, and it's going to guide you towards this goal, this vision, this thing that you're trying to achieve. So good luck. Amazing. I love that for ya. Woo. Whew. All right, Leo. Leo. How are we doing? I'm just writing down my timestamp so I don't have to do it later. It's going to save me a lot of time. How we doing? What's been happening, Leo? I hope you've had a good month. Well, November month. Now we're in December. So this is your reading for December leaking into 2025. So let's see what's coming up for you. Oy, oy, oy. Ooh, okay. So, Leo, I came in very quickly, very strong. Hidden depths came in and magical blessings. Okay. So the hidden depths, essentially, there's some shadow work that you need to do. Okay. There's some things that you need to look at and face. And once you begin to do that, that's when the magic really happens. So essentially a lot of, magical gateway, man, there's a lot of magic. I love this. So the hidden depths card is a lot of like hidden emotions, things that you haven't processed, things from the past, maybe habits that you're holding on to that aren't serving you anymore. And it's really time for you to start processing those things and really assessing if these behaviors, these ways of thinking, these reaction to situations are really in your best interest or the best interest of those that you love. And essentially, once you start healing these patterns, then you're going to start seeing things shift. You're going to start seeing people actually want to help you even more. They want to be by your side. They want to cheer you on. But you don't realize sometimes that you're getting in your own way sometimes with like this fiery attitude or this like alpha energy sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love alpha personalities, but again, you can get too dominating, too controlling. So you got to just be careful. I don't know what that is for you. You may not have that. You may just be holding onto the past and negative memories that they're bringing you down. So that is for you to assess and that is for you to process. But essentially, there's so much magic in your future, guys. There is just so many blessings and so many miracles that are ready to come forward, but you're blocking them subconsciously. You're not aware of the fact that when you hold on to these patterns and these ideas and these memories and these things that you're just like clinging on to, it really can stagnate your growth, and it can also stagnate the new energy from coming in. My grandmother, she's a Leo, and she is very much stuck in her ways of doing things. And, I always say my grandmother's favorite thing to do is complain, right? Which is not a great energy to put out there, but you cannot even have a conversation with her to try and like get her to open up. And so her life, like she's good, she's looked after, she's loved, she's cared for. But of course, there's always this like distance because of this energy that she emanates, which of course it's a protection mechanism that she has, right? It's not something that she does on purpose. It's not like she's trying to be mean or she's trying to bring people down. She's unaware of this. So Leo, essentially what I'm hearing here is that this is a great time in December for you to process the things that you're not aware of, to talk to yourself, to really think about it. Stop pointing the fingers at other people and kind of start thinking about what it is that you can own and you can change to bring in that magic. Because when you change, when you heal those patterns, you open up the doors to new possibilities. You're changing your frequency and your energy. And this is when new experiences and new things come in. And this is when the magic really happens. So this is in your path, but you have to be brave, which you are because you're a Leo, and start looking at those hidden depths, those hidden patterns, those hidden emotions that I've been following you for a long time. And man, I'm telling you, it's just time. Just let it go. And I don't mean like let it go, forget or suppress it and disown and deny it. That's not what I'm saying. It's like own it. Own it, take responsibility and make peace with it. Because shadow work essentially is about that inner conflict. And we don't want to have that inner conflict anymore. What we want to do is we want to resolve that conflict and bring peace and unity. Okay. And so that's where you need to start looking. All right, Leo, best of luck. I know you got this, and bring that magic into your reality, especially for 2025. You've got this. All right. Virgo. Hello, Virgo. How are we doing, Virgo? Welcome to your reading for December 2024, leaking into 2025. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what comes up. Virgo. Okay. Whew. Oh my goodness. Hi guys. I see a few people have joined. That's very nice. So Virgo, let's see what's in store for you. And by the way, if this is not your sign and something resonates with you and you're just watching because you feel like the messages are resonating, keep listening because there's a reason for that. All right. Ooh la la. Okay, Virgo, let's see what's coming up. Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take all of these cards out because I feel like they're all relevant. Okay, Virgo. Two cards here are about following your passion, doing what you love. Okay. Now, Virgos are very much people who love to serve, who love to, they're nurturers, the ones that I know anyway. They're very much like neat freaks as well. Not, I don't know about the men, but the women in my life are very much like that. And sometimes you forget about your own needs. Sometimes you forget about what is it that I need? What is it that I want? And you kind of take yourself off track until you get into a roadblock and then things don't start going your way anymore. And then things just get really hard. And then sometimes you're just being like the universe just bitch slaps you back to reality. Okay. And it forces you to take time to sit with yourself and remember who you are and what is it that you want. So you have the messages, you know deep down what it is that you want to do, but what I'm hearing is that you've been ignoring it, and it's time to stop doing that. It's time to actually start listening to yourself and following through with those subtle needs that you have and that you're not giving yourself. And so essentially what I'm hearing, this is all just about a shift in perspective. It's about changing the way that you look at things, changing your attachment to things, and accepting certain things that you've in the past maybe didn't accept. So change is not easy because it's a complete shift, sometimes even of identity, of personality, of emotions, of ways of thinking. But at some point, if it's not working, if it's just getting hard, if everything is just an obstacle or things aren't working out or you're just feeling alone or whatever it is, it's time to make that shift because you actually have power in this situation to do something. And because you're so used to doing everything for everybody else, now it's time for you to start doing something for yourself. Now, for the year to come, there are good things that are coming, right? Obviously, depending on how much you make that shift, how much you change your perspective, but there is manifestations on the way and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. So I know for some of you, it's been a bit of a tough year. But just so you know, things are going to clear, things are going to get better. It's only a phase, it's temporary. This is not permanent. Okay. So use this time to really process what happened and to really change your perspective. How could you handle the situation better now that you're looking at what happened? What would you have done differently? How would you have empowered yourself? How would you have made different choices? Okay. And essentially, it's about just not repeating the same patterns. Because if you keep repeating the same patterns, well, then you're just going to end up having the same results, right? So we don't want that anymore. We want the magic. We want the wish to come true. And in order to do that, you got to be brave and you got to try something new. Love it how that rhymed. All right, Virgo, best of luck for the year to come. I'm sure you got this. Be brave. All right. No, Libra. Oh my gosh, I can't see. And these pens don't work. Okay, Libra, how you doing, Libra? What's been going on? Whoo! All right. I am so tired today, but that's okay. All right, Libra, I promised that I would do this because if I don't do this today, I'm just not going to get through it this week because I've got so much happening. So I'm here. I'm showing up. Let's do it. Libra. Okay, this card wants to come out. This is your reading for December 2024, leaking into 2025. Oh, littles. I got my little hamsters. They're so cute. Okay, so let's see what comes up for you. Ooh, oopsies. Okay. I think it's the prosperity card. Ooh, we love that. Okay, so interesting. So the prosperity card came up, and essentially why this came up, it's telling me something. Okay, that makes sense now. So there's this girl that I follow. I can't remember her freaking name, but she connects with angels, something Rose, and she talked about the energy of abundance. Okay. And there's essentially this frequency that exists in some other realm or dimension or in this dimension that we have access to at any point. And what I'm hearing for you, Libra, is essentially that you got to start tapping into that frequency and start connecting to that frequency and start thinking from that frequency and asking questions from that place. If you have a poverty mindset, you will not think in an abundant mindset. So in order to, and if you never had that, then how are you going to like receive that information, right? So one of them is clairaudience. Okay. So this came up. So you have access to that information, but you have to tap into it. Ah, nice. Libra rising. Welcome. So one of the things that she talked about is that she wants you to visualize essentially the energy of abundance as a golden ball of energy somewhere up there, right? It doesn't matter. Trust me, you just need to connect to it energetically and have a cord going from either your solar plexus or your belly button. Connect all up to this ball of energy, and then you can receive downloads from there. So this is a practice that you can do on a regular basis, essentially to get those downloads, to get those codes. Oh, that's amazing. Look at that. Well, this is reading for you then. So when you get these downloads, this is a good time to also have a connection and a conversation to this abundance, right? To this prosperity. And that means that you're probably going to get some guidance. You're probably going to get some information that you weren't maybe listening to before or connected to before. And also, the more you connect to this frequency, essentially you're elevating your own frequency. So you're actually accessing different dimensions, and you're actually accessing different manifestations, portals, possibilities, and opportunities. So take advantage of this, because this came through very strongly. Spread your wings. Okay. So for the next year, essentially what I'm hearing, Libra, is that it's time for you guys to really just fly, just take a risk, take a leap of faith. This is the year for you to step out of your comfort zone. It's the year for you to try something new. So if you've been thinking about that, now that you have this connection to this abundant energy above you, then it's also time to receive those downloads and actually take action upon this information, this guidance that you know you have. And it's funny, sometimes we get these downloads, and listen, this is what I always tell my clients. It's like, it's so anyone can get access to that information. Honestly, if you sit in meditation enough, if you get quiet enough, we all receive some kind of information, right? It's taking action and following through that, to me, it's the true power of spirituality. It's the ability to actually materialize those downloads and actually create something out of it, and following through and experiencing it. That, to me, is the real spiritual experience of life. So Libra, it's Libra, right? So Libra, listen to that. You're welcome. That's awesome. Yep. So I would like to be right. It's more the downloads that I'm receiving, but thank you. So listen through, follow through, embody it, and then see what happens, because that is the only way transformation magic really happens in your life. Best of luck. All right, Scorpio. 36:56. I'm just making sure that I'm taking the timestamps now, because I don't want to do it later. Okay. Scorpio, how you doing? What's been happening, Scorpio? This is your reading for December 2024, leaking into 2025. Whew, okay. The fairies want to come through today. How's everybody doing? Welcome. For those of you who have joined, even if this is not your sign, you may still receive a message. So you're more than welcome to hang around and listen. But this is a reading for Scorpio for December, leaking into the year to come. Let's see what comes up for you, my loves. Ooh. Solitude came up. Okay. So what I'm hearing, Scorpio, is actually really about not feeling understood. I feel like there's a lot of just feeling a little bit different, not feeling like you're like everybody else, to be quite honest. So we got solitude, manifestation, and pure intention. Okay. So this feeling of not feeling like you're understood, or that you're a little bit different, is kind of separating you a little bit from some of your loved ones, from certain things, certain situations. And yeah, it's an interesting one. I have to really interpret that message a bit more clearer, but let's see how it goes as I go through this reading. So what I'm hearing essentially is that you want to begin to find ways where you don't try to separate yourself so much from the world and others, and where you essentially find parts of you that are like others. Now, it doesn't have to always be the same or exact, right? But it's more like, I feel like I'm an outcast, but she feels like she's an outcast. I guess the best way to describe it, similarity, right? Because the next year, it's a very powerful manifestation year for you. And You want to have pure intention, okay? Pure intention came through. So this means that you're not chasing things out of need. You're not chasing things out of fear, out of lack, but you're chasing things out of purity, out of authenticity, out of activation, out of alignment. And those things are love, union, being of service. Okay. So very different energy to feeling separate, because when we feel separate, this is usually when we act out of character and we do things that aren't always our best selves. And so we want to stop doing that, Scorpio. We really want to step up into our best selves. And in order to do that, it comes down to your intention. So how can I align with my truest intention? And this comes down to authenticity. To me, authenticity personally means that if something feels wrong, I'm not going to do it. Aligning with what I say and what I mean and what I feel. And this doesn't mean that it's other people going to like it. This doesn't mean I'm not going to be following the crowd. This means I'm going after what I feel is me, whether it is wearing something weird, whether it is, for me, an example of that is like I'm vegan. And for me, it's like I can't sit there and see animals being slaughtered and like feel completely wrong on the inside and eat them. It just doesn't make any freaking sense to me, so it really doesn't. So the minute I decided to become vegan, it made me so empowered. And now this doesn't mean it's something for you, okay? But this is something that I felt that was authentic to me. So what does that mean to you? Okay. Does it mean being more spiritual, being more outspoken? Does it mean expressing yourself a little bit more? Does it mean saying no when you actually mean no instead of saying yes, and stop people pleasing? What does that mean to you? And start with the small things, because it can be very challenging to start doing that. But over time, that challenge is going to become power. That challenge becomes who you are, and you're going to embrace that and you're going to love it. And then it's going to motivate you to do more things like that. But there is always that period where you're testing yourself, where it is going to be difficult because you've been doing something for so long. You've been going against your true nature for so long. And suddenly you're just going to like go, okay, now I'm going to listen to myself. Your body's going to be like, what? So there is that adjustment period, but you got to have that grace. And when you do that, Scorpio, things are going to really start manifesting for you. You are a powerful manifester. And the reason why things don't manifest for you is because you're not in your integrity. So get back into your integrity, and then things are going to work out for you. Things are going to align. People, places, and things are going to show up like that. But you've got to be in your integrity. This is for everyone, by the way. This is not just for Scorpio, but this is coming out for Scorpio as their message. And obviously the universe wants to back you up at that point as well. When you're in integrity and you're doing something that is truly of service from your heart, the universe is like, yo, I like that. I want to pay for that. I want to be like on that wavelength, and so of course they're going to help you and support you. So yeah, so think about it. In what ways have you been going against your essence, who you are, and just shift that and notice how things will change for you for the next year. Pretty fun. No, Scorpio, please don't turn into a Libra. Oh my gosh. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much. Sagittarius. Ooh la la, Sagittarius. How are we doing? This is your reading for December 2024, linking into 2025. I'm just going to drink my tea. I've been getting this calling not to drink as much coffee, so I've been listening, and I gotta say, I feel better. Funny how you do that when you listen. All right, Sagittarius, how are we doing? I'm so glad that the sound works. This is what happened last time when I was doing the live reading. The sound just cut off at like 42 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna have to delete the whole thing. So, is it okay? People pleasing is the Libra thing. Oh, good to know. Yeah, don't do it. Please yourself first. It's kind of like that thing, right? You want to have your cup full before you can spill it over and give it to everybody else. So I always like that metaphor of for people pleasers. I have been a people pleaser, and I've also been very selfish. I'm a Gemini, so I've been there both extremes. And yeah, it's an interesting thing. And now I feel like I'm finally in the middle, and I found the balance. No, I didn't know that about Libras. I had a relationship with a Libra who was not a very nice person. And he was definitely not a people pleaser. So maybe that's why. So my experience with that Libra wasn't always good. But I haven't, how you like meet more people who are within a certain type of like star sign. So it's been more Scorpios and Virgos and Leos in my life, and Sagittarius. But I'm totally open to meeting more Libras, man. I'm sure there's plenty of you guys out there who are freaking awesome. I just happened to get a bad egg. Really bad egg. That's okay. There's plenty of bad Geminis. There's plenty of bad other signs, guys. It does not taint your sign at all. People are people. Okay. So please don't make the connection, because that has nothing to do with it. You're my moon. Your moon's in Gemini. Cool. All right. So Sagittarius, let's see what's coming up for you. Oh, okay. That card totally flipped. I saw it. Okay. My husband's a Sagittarius and my dad's a Sagittarius. So it's just bringing things up. Wow. Okay. So Sagittarius, crystal clear intentions. So I'm feeling like for a lot of you, there has been like a bit of an awakening this year. You've learned a lot about yourself, and you've done some big changes within yourself. Maybe they haven't always, well, they have manifested on the outside, but they haven't really manifested on the outside like they will for the next year. But these changes were necessary. So I feel like you've changed your mindset a lot, the way that you've looked at things. You've changed the way essentially that you've been thinking, and you softened up a little bit, which is awesome because you really needed that. Now, comfort came up, right? And so I feel like this is two things. One, that you're in the next year, you're actually going to build more comfort because there's a career transition. So I feel like there's a building of wealth because of this change in mindset, but also leaving your comfort. So there's like going into a new comfort and leaving the old comfort. The old comfort of doing things the same way, very stubborn, very stuck in your pattern, and it's comfortable to you, just not everybody else around you. Okay, so your comfort made everybody else feel uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. And so finally, you're making those shifts to step into a new comfort, because it seems to be a thing that Sagittarius really like. They kind of get like you guys are very good builders, right? When you really want something, you go after and you make it happen, but then you can sometimes just like, my comfort, and just don't want to try something out of the box. Sometimes it takes a lot of pushing or things to happen for you to eventually make that decision. That stubbornness, again, it's not a bad thing. But it's, and by the way, Sagittarius like adventure and different things, but I'm talking about more mental stuff here. So what I'm hearing as well for you guys, there is a career transition for next year. Some of you are changing careers, expanding your career, thinking about new projects, wanting to try new things, which is really amazing. And I'm seeing, again, that shift in comfort, but I'm seeing it as comfort. So that means I feel like there's a lot of financial gain in that, whatever you're going to do. And there's financial transformation, and there's like physical transformation. So like I said, this year's been more of a mental transformation for you. And next year, there's going to be more things that are going to change on the outside. It's kind of like the year's catching up physically. Now, I want to get a couple of more cards for you because I'm feeling there's more. Do you want to come out? Okay. No, there it is. 8 of Ariel. So the card that came up is like, take great pride in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional education or training. So what essentially I'm hearing here is like, a lot of you, I'm seeing a lot of you reading, a lot of you educating yourself, expanding on something, whatever it is that this career transition is, that like you're expanding your knowledge in that department, and you're actually going to be growing quite a bit. So you're learning new material, and this is going to be very exciting again, because it's like, it's fun to learn new things, right? Instead of doing the same thing over and over again. And keep your eye on the big picture. Leave the details to other. Experience that leads to success. Genuine concern for others. So I'm not getting the concern for others, but what I am getting here is more like the leadership. You know exactly what to do. You know how you're going to do it. You know what steps you're going to take. You've already made the plan and the map in your head. And so just follow through with it. And essentially, they're just applauding you, honestly, because you've done some breakthroughs this year, and they're very happy about those breakthroughs because you needed them in order to get to the next level. So that's awesome. Well done. Happy birthday, Sag. Yes, that's true. It is. My husband's birthday is this Sunday. And so good point. And my dad's was November 25th. So there you go. All right, Capricorn. How are ya? What's been happening? Wow, we banged through these ones. That's awesome. Capricorn, how you doing? This is your reading for December 2024, leaking into 2025. Oh God, she's singing now. That's not good. All right, Capricorn. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going well. You know, it's nice when things go well. Unlike my day today. My day today was a little interesting. Okay. Hmm. Okay, Capricorn. So sensitivity, moon cycles, and creative writing came up. This is very interesting. So I feel like for some of you, this is really about tapping into your feminine energy. Now, when I say feminine energy, guys, please don't take it the wrong way. If you're a man, it's like, ew, I'm going to talk like this. I'm channeling right now. That's why I'm closing my eyes because I got to get some downloads. What I'm hearing essentially, it's about being a little bit more in the flow state and receiving the information as opposed to always plowing and charging through things. Okay. So one of the ways that they're saying that you can do that is through writing. Okay. So I'm hearing that it's like whether it's journaling, whether it's like automatic writing. If you don't know what that is, I highly recommend you check it out. Automatic writing for me has been one of and my clients has been very powerful when done the right way. So essentially you take pen and paper, and how it works is that you're going to ask a question to either your higher self, to God, to your angels, whoever you resonate with. And then you want to ask a specific question. So for instance, to my highest self, how do I resolve this, whatever problem that you have? And then you let the pen flow. And the whole point of this is that you do not stop writing. So when you start writing, you cannot stop. So if you don't have anything coming through, you just write blah, blah, blah until information starts coming through, or you can just repeat the question over and over and over again. To my higher self, how do I resolve this issue? To my higher self, how do I resolve this issue? And then slowly information is going to start coming through, and then you start writing that information. Don't worry about punctuation. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about your writing. That's not the point. The point is it's a form of downloading information. A lot of mediums use this. A lot of psychics use this. It's a very, very powerful tool when done the right way, and you can use it every single day. And it's a very great, powerful way to receive wisdom that you already have access to, that you might not be listening to because you're not being sensitive. And so one of the ways to get access is by receiving that information and physicalizing so you can actually see it. And the other thing that you want to think about is like, so moon cycles came up. Okay. So notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestation. Okay. So that makes sense. So this just came through really big time. So you guys are quite sensitive, but you're in denial about being freaking sensitive. So what ends up happening is that there are certain times, there are certain cycles where you should be resting and you're not resting. And when there's times when you should be taking action and then you're just being lazy. Okay. So essentially this is what I'm hearing. So when you're in flow with these energies, you're amplifying your manifestations and your effectiveness and your ability to create. Okay. So when you know when it's time to rest, that's when you recharge your batteries, because when you're going to come back, oh, bitch, you're going to come back. Okay. And you're going to come back 3 times stronger, 3 times more focused, 3 times more powerful. But when you don't listen to that, hey, take a minute, sit down, rest. What happens is you push through and then you're struggling just to get through whatever it is that you want to do. Okay. You're thinking, you're feeling like you're missing out. You're feeling like you're being lazy. And then that's when you become lazy, when you're supposed to take action. Okay. So you see how you're going against your own energy, your own battery. So you're running on empty and everything's just 10 times harder. So one of the things that I'm hearing for the next year is, guys, you got to be a little bit more in touch with your sensitivity. You got to be a little bit more in tune with what's going on within you, with the flow of your energy, with the flow of the energy of the universe, which is all synchronized, what's so within, so without, right? So when you start listening to that flow, that's when you're the most effective. And I can tell you right now, if you listen to any spiritual healer, if you listen to any freaking okay, entrepreneurs, of course, there's a level of pushing through, right? I get that when it's necessary. But they will all tell you that they know when it's time to rest. They have that moment where they have a cutoff moment sometimes because they tend to burn out, and they've all learned that lesson the hard way. So you can either learn it the hard way or you can learn it the right way, right? So it's up to you how you want to do that. But for the next year, you want to bring in a little bit more of that sensitivity. And if you're a guy and you're rejecting that word sensitivity, then you got to ask yourself why, because there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. It doesn't mean you're going to cry every time you see a sad song on TV. It doesn't mean that your masculinity is threatened. Doesn't mean any of that stuff. It simply means that you're willing to receive, you're willing to listen, you're willing to be in a flow state a lot more. Sorry, my hamster is being adorable. So that's essentially, and when you're with the flow of energies, then you have the whole energy universe behind you. And it's like this big wave that's going with you. Think of yourself like a surfer, right? You want to go with that wave, not against the wave. All right, Capricorn. I hope that made sense. Best of luck. You got this. All right, Aquarius. 20, what is it? Let's just do 25. Aquarius, hello. How's it going? I'm just reading somebody's comment. I have been wanting to do automatic writing, and I have been working on a book, kinda. I am aware of my sensitivity, and I'm very sensitive. My problem is Libra and Gemini, parts of me constantly second guessing everything. Well, you know how you're going to find out if it's right or wrong? You just got to just try. And it's okay to fail, guys. We got to remember that. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to fall. It's okay to do mistakes. You know, that's actually how you learn. And I really encourage you to do mistakes. Not big ones, obviously, where you like can't go back. Like, those ones, I mean, that's just stupidity. But you know what I mean by that. Take risks. Okay, so Aquarius, back to you. This is your reading for December 2024, leaking into the year of 2025. So let's see what the energies have in store for you. Ba, ba, ba. Aquarius. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get all of these cards because they all came out. So I'm just going to go with it. That's it, right? Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Very specific for some of you. Okay. Extension on the family for some of you. Again, babies coming through. I don't know why this year a lot of babies are coming through. I think a lot of you have been thinking about it or wanting new babies. So that's happening. Expansion, like little brother and sister, are happening for some of you, some of the children. I'm just very specific, came through. Just wanted to let you know for those of you who've been wanting more kids. But Aquarius, let's just go back to what the whole message is. So light motivation, inner child, go outside, life energy, and new beginnings. So the light energy. So what I'm hearing here, Aquarius, is that you have this ability to feel energy a little bit differently to everybody else. You have this ability of feeling these frequencies. It's like, you know, there's something out there that you're connected to. And essentially what they're saying is this year, next year, what they want you to do is to start connecting to that energy a little bit more. It's a form of communication that the universe has with you. Everything is energy and frequency, right? So when we start listening to these energies, we can actually work with these energies. And I'm not talking just about manifestation. I'm talking about even just the frequency that you're emanating to other people. Think about it this way. Somebody who's a very high vibe person who has a very positive energy cannot not influence everybody. And the same way when somebody has a very negative, dense, toxic energy, they still influence everybody around them. Okay. So think of it that way, how powerful energy is. And so we just think of it kind of like positive and negative, but there's so many layers to energy. And so how do you want to use it? Do you want to use it through your business, through your work, through how you show up for people, for your loved ones? And so there's something there for you to really explore. And I think you know what that is. I'm not here to give you like an exact message about that, because obviously this is a general reading, so it's going to be very different for all of you. Motivation. So for those of you who have been struggling with motivation or want to find more motivation, I'm hearing inner child work. So something that came through to me, and I don't know when I'm going to do this video because I haven't gotten the full download about it, but essentially there was something about being able to manifest powerfully through your inner child. So yes, of course, healing your inner child, but actually working with your inner child to manifest. Because think about the energy of a child, right? If you're even just thinking about energy, they can see everything. Nothing's impossible. Okay. There's just this magical world that anything can happen. So there's a little bit of that. And so when you bring that magic, that fantasy, that dream state a little bit back into your reality, it kind of gives you this motivation. It gives you this edge that it's like, I can do anything. And so that is essentially the energy that you want to tap into. Of course, nature is a big one, right? Because nature is a resetter. It will naturally heal you when you're out in nature. You'll also receive downloads. But essentially, what it is like light energy as well, right? So you're just connecting, again, this freaking thing about energy with you, Aquarius. So it's something about the energy, something about receiving this frequency. And I'm here and I'm like literally feeling like I have this a lot. Like every morning I connect to some higher power and I say thank you, regardless of whether I had a nightmare, regardless of what's going on. I always sit there and just say thank you to this energy, this higher power. So there's something there for you as well that you're doing something similar. So expand on that. And then again, next year is new beginnings. So whether it is a new child for some of you, there's that symbol, literal symbol. But for a lot of you, it's also like the beginning of something new. So 2025, it's bringing in something new, is birthing a new idea, birthing a new project, a new something. Okay. And so could be a new home, even for some of you, if you're wanting a new home. So there's the birthing of something new, a birthing of a new path, of a new experience, of a new something. It's just new, basically. So we get the gist of that. So whatever that is for you, congratulations, because it's going to be a beautiful thing. I feel like it's got a very positive, joyful, happy energy. And again, guys, whenever we birth something new into the reality, it's like children, right? They're adorable, they're cute, they're like all these cute things. It comes with a lot of work, okay? So a lot of sacrifice and a lot of things like that. So don't always hear these readings and think everything's going to be perfect and hunky-dory. Life is life. There's ups and downs, okay? We've got to remember that. All right, Aquarius, best of luck for next year and for December. All right, so let's close with Pisces. All right, Pisces, how are we doing? How you doing? What you doing? I'm not going to continue that one. All right, so this is your reading for December 2024, leaking into 2025. So let's see what's coming up for you. I am so proud of myself. I did this reading. I finally managed to do it. I attempted it a few weeks ago and the sound cut out. So, okay, Pisces. So let's see what the new year and the end of the year has in store for you. All right. Ooh, okay. So I'm hearing a lot of heart chakra energy. So I'm hearing breakups. Some of you just broke up or had a breakup, whether it's friendships or relationships, or changing friendships, changing relationships. So I feel like there's just a lot of heart repairing and restoring and healing going on right now. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay. I know it sucks at the time sometimes because it's like, man, there's like, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, but I'm hearing that this is essentially a very good thing. So one of the things also that I'm hearing is that you need to start asking for help, Pisces. You can be a little bit very introverted and process things a little bit too much by yourself in your mind, and a little bit like Scorpio. I'm hearing like you feel like sometimes people don't get you, or they just not on the same wavelength as you, and that could be and that can also be true, but you got to give people a chance to try at least. And sometimes they may not have the answers, they may not know exactly what to do, but at least they're trying, and that in itself can be enough. It can be enough to make you feel loved and supported. So the other thing that they're also hearing is like work with angels. Okay, this is something that I've been doing this year, and it's been so cool. Working with angels, calling upon angels, connecting with angels or some higher power, essentially, and just inviting their help, because angels are helpers. That's what they do. They make things easier for you. So whether it's with the higher power, whether it's actual people, earth angels, there's a lot of earth angels here. This is the time to do it. But what is happening right now with you, Pisces, there are a lot of hidden depths, a lot of things in your subconscious that are coming to the surface that have been manifesting through these relationships, through these experiences. And they're all coming to the surface because essentially they're just being released and let go of. So one good thing that you can do by the end of this year for December is do a releasing ritual, letting go of all the experiences, letting go of all the relationships, really surrendering them, not trying to hold on to them. If they're meant for you, they will come back. And just letting it all go, surrendering to it, and now making way for the new. And so magical blessings and shine from within came up. So the next year, I feel like very surprising things are going to come into your experience. New friendships are going to come in for sure. New relationships, new experiences. And you're going to find this light, because right now, like I said, there's this healing, there's this heaviness happening in your heart. But next year, it's going to be like this shift, this transformation, this like something that you didn't know was always there, but it was kind of like hidden with the shadows. And now finally those shadows have been healed and released, and now the light starts to shine outside of you. And so for some of you, means like being in center of attention, shining, your work starts to shine, you start to shine. There's something about people noticing you more and seeing you for real. So this is very cool, guys. Well, best of luck, and don't be afraid of the healing part of it, because I know it sucks, but it's necessary. I was with somebody who was very negative, and I thought I could lift him up, but instead he pulled me down. Yeah, that's a very big one, guys. It's a hard one. It's a hard lesson, unfortunately. And people, like I said, don't always mean bad. They just do what they know, and very few people are aware enough to be able to make those shifts. So that's always my thing right now. It's like, I'm going to give you my hand, you can come with me, but I'm not going to come down to get you back up. So yeah, and it just drains your energy. And unfortunately, if they don't want to change, there's nothing that you can do. You can jump mountains, you can freaking, I'm telling you, you can do anything. And if people don't want to change, they don't want to change, let them. But always be there, ready to help them if that's what they want, when they're ready. That's always my thing. It's like, if you don't want to change, that's fine, but I'm here whenever you're ready. So I don't need you to pull me down, but I'm always here, or will always be here for you. So I don't know if that helps. Cool, guys. Well, I'm glad you spent some time with me today. I'm glad we got through this reading. I was determined to do this reading today, and I did. Achieved a goal. And yeah, so best of luck. I hope these resonated with you. If they did, leave a comment below. If they didn't, that's fine too. Like I said, it's a general reading, but I'm sure there's a message in here for you. And that's really about it. I can't think of anything else. Yes, you had to let him go. Good. Absolutely good for you. That's what you need, man. You need to let them go. And like I said, if they're meant for you, they'll come back. I've had people come back, and I've had people leave, and that's okay. Like I said, I think if you just look at people with the best of intention, but at the same time, you've got to be your own protector. Because if you don't protect yourself, then you're not good. Then you're no use to anybody else. Whew. All right, guys. Well, I am so glad that we got to spend this time together. I'm going to go. I'm going to leave the timestamps below. This time I wrote them. And yeah, that's it. So best of luck for this year. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if I don't see you until then. And I will see you in the next year for your reading for January, hopefully, if I remember. I'll remember. Okay. All right, guys. Bye. Thanks for hanging out.